Hi everybody, this video is dedicated to one of our key assignments, the Preschool Literacy Center. I think you will be very happy with the content that you can find in your ELA textbook, as well as your week-by-week plans textbook with regards to lesson planning and developing a literacy center, but I'm going to share lots of other stuff on Blackboard as well. So as always with key assignments, you just need to go to the key assignment section of Blackboard. Always be reminded of these deadlines. All right, I'm going in order due with my videos. So right now I'm going to click into the Pre-K Literacy Center, Preschool. I've been using those interchangeably. I'd like to stick with Preschool though. The instructions are at the top. It is a downloadable file. I recommend that you do download that for safekeeping. I won't read this to you, but basically the assignment here is to develop the type of activity center one might find in an early childhood classroom that promotes literacy development. And we're aiming at the preschool age range here. I think it's safe to envision 2 to 5-year-olds, but not kindergartners. Okay, you're going to be coming up with a unique theme, and you're going to choose 3 children's books, 3 developmentally appropriate books related to your chosen theme. And you will integrate those into your literacy center. All right. There are 2 pieces, well, I guess really 3 pieces to this assignment, because you need to make the document, the lesson plan, which is a universally designed document from our department head. You also have to actually physically make the literacy center to the best of your ability. I know it's a weird semester, but we do have a supplies closet on campus for students in this program, and I know that Ms. Hardison has ordered some more supplies to replenish, and so I'm talking about pipe cleaners, pom-poms, popsicle sticks, construction paper. If you need that sort of thing and don't want to have to run into the Dollar Tree or something like that, just let me know. We can make an appointment to meet at the Math and Science 108 classroom, but we have to work around my schedule, your schedule, and the room schedule, because we do have classes meeting in there this semester for social distancing purposes. So that's the long and short of it. So you have to make a document, you have to make your activity center and related props and materials. And then the third piece is the sharing of your literacy center. I just learned how to do the VoiceThread assignment in Blackboard, and I'm thinking for the rest of the semester, anytime we need to sort of do a show and tell, I might go for that VoiceThread assignment. So be on the lookout for something like that to pop up in the key assignment area. So you'll have a file upload assignment link where you'll upload your lesson plan, and then a show and tell where you create a video. This takes the place of, in a normal semester, everyone would bring their literacy centers on the same day, and we'd all kind of walk around and do them for each other. And I'm very sad that we can't do it that way this semester. But I think we can use technology to somewhat substitute for that. Here I have instructions about sending me the cloud file of your video or your photo album, but again, I think I might like to try VoiceThread for that. Those plans are subject to change depending on how things go this week with VoiceThread. Okay. This is important as far as how detailed should you get in your document. Someone who has access to that literacy center planning document should be able to recreate your literacy center based on those instructions. So very detailed is the answer to that question. Okay, so I'm going to share some samples here, but I also want to guide you through some other aspects of this assignment. So I strongly recommend that you download one of these two files. I've made these. It's just a template. One of them has helpful notes and one of them is blank. If I were you, I'd download the one with the notes, and then you can just delete over the notes as you don't need them anymore. Okay, I've just pulled up the Literacy Center planning document with the extra guiding notes. If you work off of this one, I just recommend deleting the extra language as you go through. I recommend doing a file save as and changing the file name to something with your name in it. You can update the date as needed. You'll need to update your name. You'll need to update the last name and the page numbers. I understand there is a little bit of duplicate here from my header. This is a standard document from the department head, and I don't want to deviate from that, so just go ahead and put your name again, put the date again. You can leave plan number blank, but leave it there. Area of classroom, just describe to the best of your ability where you see this activity taking place in your classroom. Age group, I have a note on age group. Multimedia link, you may or may not be using this depending on whether or not I choose VoiceThread for our show and tell. So I gotta figure that out. Again, if you're working off of this document, you could delete that. Name of the Literacy Center. And so this should be your unique theme. You'll see a few examples of themes in the samples that I share in this video. I know that the goal for this is to pick something fresh and new and exciting. And if you don't know what I mean by that and you want to run your idea by me, just shoot me an email or a Discord message and I'll let you know. The other thing I can do is once I start getting ideas from students, if you want to sort of call dibs on your theme, I'll keep a document maintained in our key assignment area that has just, the first name and the theme that you've chosen so that you can see if somebody's already going for yours. I think it would be nice to aim for some variety. Yeah, so that's the plan for that. Sources. Okay. I want to see your best attempt at an APA reference for the North Carolina Foundations document, which you will see here in a second, and the Bloom's verb list, which you will see. And then I need to see at least one other source from one of your textbooks listed here, something that you looked at as you were preparing this literacy center. Also, if you found something online that inspired you, you should drop your source in here. Okay, the developmental domain for our course is going to be language and literacy, so that's what everyone should put there. Learning standards. You're going to choose these based on your literacy center, but they must be word for word from the foundations document, which I'm about to show you in the LDC section. Then behavioral objectives, you get to compose those on your own, but you have to use Bloom's verbs in the sentence pattern, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a moment. The assessment, I'm going to let you read this on your own. Just be sure that you have an assessment of prior knowledge. You explain what's recently been going on in your classroom before you would introduce an activity like this. I want a specific plan for assessments. Remember, that doesn't mean they have to take a test. There are many kinds of assessment. And then post-assessment reflection. You have a couple options here based on whether or not you got to actually use this literacy center in an early childhood setting. Then the step-by-step list of how to organize and run your center, and then a detailed list of materials. This should include the 3 children's books relevant to your theme. So the vision here would be to have those books kind of out in front of your literacy center and have them be a real part of your activity center. Okay, and then here's a sample of how to cite a book, how to make a APA reference entry for a book. Okay, so this is the more detailed document. If you want the cleaner looking document, you can find it right below blank. Okay, so we've got the instructions, the template with helpful notes, the blank template. So again, with your learning standards, if you go to this document, some of you already have a hard copy of this, some of you don't, so here's a free PDF. The LDC goals start, I believe, on page 99. I know it's like pink. Yeah, okay. So you are looking for these types of developmental indicators, not the overall goals. We're looking, so starting on page 103, depending on the specific age group you're going for in your preschool literacy center, you're looking for developmental indicators that align with the activity that you have created. And in my instructions, I recommend 1, 2, or 3 of these. Okay? These continue on page 114 and run through 118. Here's some more for writing, 121 through 123. So you are looking for any of the pages that have the columns with the different age ranges. And also when you grab these indicators, you want to include the exact number at the end, okay? So that's the learning indicators. And then when you make your behavioral outcomes, if you'll notice, the phrasing should be after blank, children will blank. And after the word will, we want a bloom verb. And if I think to, I'll grab an article or a simple website that gives a little bit of history on why educators are so obsessed with bloom verbs. The one thing you'll note is the word learn is not a bloom verb. Students will learn how, blah, blah, blah. No, we want to know exactly what kind of learning is taking place. And so you'll see that these are all very specific action verbs, measurable. Okay. I think your favorite thing here will be last year's photo gallery and video gallery on our show and tell day. You'll see some of your EDU classmates and their creative ideas. Hopefully just simply scrolling through these will inspire you, give you some fun ideas. Just scrolling through these gives me very happy memories about last spring before the pandemic got us. Okay. The video I'm making right now will pop up. I'll put that at the top. Is there anything else I want to show you? The samples. Okay. So I just want to show you a few successful literacy centers from last spring. Please note that the format for the learning plan looks a little different. So I'm not going to post these files because I don't want to lead anyone astray. I'm just going to slowly scroll through. So this student had a camping center and for 4-year-olds. And you can see that they got some of their ideas from online, and so they put the URLs and the publication date, which, you know, is pretty good as far as APA goes. I'm not going to be super nitpicky on APA, but you need to at least try. This person has cited their North Carolina Foundation's document. They did not cite their Bloom's verb chart, which they should have. Okay. Here are their 3 learning standards that they got straight from the Foundation's document and have put the exact location for each one. Obviously, I'm going to be looking at the activities in your center and seeing if they align with what you've put here. And then these behavioral objectives should also align with the learning standards. And you'll see they have adhered to the after blank, children will blank. And we've got sculpt, assemble, identify, match. These are all Bloom verbs. If you want to use a verb that's not on the posted verb chart, let me know and I can give you quick approval if it's a good behavioral outcome verb. Here's their assessment plan. I'm looking for a lot more detail this time around in the assessment plans, and also you'll have that post-assessment reflection. Here are their steps. And then the materials needed. The book requirement was not as firm last time around, but you'll see the student did include 1 book in their materials needed. I want to see 3 from you. Also, nice little double dipping. All 3 of those books could be added to your literature resource file key assignment. Okay. Let's see. Here's student N. They had an outer space theme. I would say, as far as developing a theme, I would like to see a more specific. Space is huge. Perhaps some aspect of space travel or the International Space Station, you know, so try to be specific with this. Okay, we've got our age, our sources. This person did grab a Bloom verb list. Their APA looks pretty good to me. They've got their learning standards, their behavioral objectives, and you will see again how the learning indicator and the behavioral objectives sort of kind of match. Like, we're basing our activity off of this expectation of students, and then after doing the activity, the student will blah, blah, blah. Okay. We've got our assessment plan, our steps for organizing. This person has even like a kind of a script, so that's neat. And then nice detailed instructions and list of materials needed. The other thing you can do for your multimedia share, you know, you can take your camera and kind of pan over all the materials needed, or take a photograph of all the materials spread out before you assemble it. Any of those things will be helpful for us as we try to learn from each other's literacy center. The whole point here is if there are 15 students, each of you will now have 15 literacy center ideas once you're done with the show and tell. Okay, here's one more. This is a very inspired theme, falling into sound. I like that one a lot. And so they've kind of taken the fall season but combined it with letter ID, and letter sounds. I remember this because this phrase cracks me up, the chucking pumpkins. You can find those in the photo album. All right, so I hope that this video has helped you better understand what's expected of you for the Preschool Literacy Center. I'll go ahead and put an upload link for the document probably this week, and then I'm going to make a final call on how to do the show and tell, um, whether it be a voice thread or a discussion board or something else. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot. Bye.